Hello and welcome to Digital Forensics. My name is Alex Ayatsu. I'm the professor for this class. This is our orientation video. I just want to take a few minutes of your time, have you walk through some of this information and set the expectations for the course and at least point you in the right direction to get you in the swing of things and get you going at the beginning of the semester. The first slide we're going to look at is really contact information, relatively straightforward. I will say that the best way to reach me is definitely via email. I will check that 24/7 on just about any device that I own, and it's by far the easiest way to reach me. You can also try to reach me via Skype or set up a video conference. I don't always have the client open or available, so if we needed to video conference, a better option might be to email me first and set a time so that I can make sure that I'm ready at my end. Do you have information about the main phone number for Anderson? They will be able to get a hold of me if there's an emergency, and generally they will do the same thing. They will send me an email. And so if you need me to get a hold of you, you can give them your contact info and I'll receive the email, and I can certainly give you a call and try to assist any way that I can. My office is in ASM 2134 and my office hours are Mondays 2 to 3 p.m. You also have the email address for my graduate assistant in case I'm not available or I can't be reached, and they can try to track me down. This is really the main reason for doing this orientation video, is to review week one and as I said earlier, get you going in this class. So the first thing I want you to do, and I'll spend a little bit of time here coming up, is navigate the website for the course. Make sure you're familiar with the different menu items and you have a good sense of where everything is located, so that if you're trying to find a specific type of information, like let's say the syllabus or this orientation video, you know how to find it. Second item on the list you see is read the syllabus. It is the document that sets the expectations in terms of what you can expect from this course and what I will expect from the students. So it really is sort of a contract between the professor and the students regarding what we'll be expecting in class. So please take the time to read through it carefully. Don't speed through it. Sometimes there's just some key pieces of information that might be really important that I don't want you to skip over. Obviously you're watching this video, so there's the orientation and slides and explanation for the different items. Every semester we have different types of surveys and they may vary, so those will be available in the course website. So I will make the links available. They will be listed, so make sure that those are completed. One quick thing to mention is that sometimes the grading system will assign points to the surveys, but those will not be calculated towards your final grade. So it might have been set up in that fashion, but if it says that you earn 10 or 50 points, those really are not counted towards your final grade. Or sometimes it will tell you that there is an assignment that hasn't been graded, so just ignore that when it comes to the survey. The welcome posting you will find in the discussion early on. You will see my information, and this is your opportunity to introduce yourself to the class, because we are in an online environment. We're not going to meet each other face to face right off the bat. You may already know other students because you're having classes together or have had them before, but it's really your opportunity to tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're studying, what your background is. Perhaps you're interning somewhere, you're doing some of the work that we're going to discuss in digital forensics. Maybe there are specific things that you would like to learn in class. This is the place to come say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you expect. And finally, in this first slide for week one, because of the type of information that you're going to be taught, it can be used in different ways. And so there's a code of ethics and there's a white hat agreement that needs to be completed by every student that takes this class. So we need to make sure that that is on file. I will provide the links so you can go ahead and complete these and have them available. So, website, the primary links, what do we have there? Under the announcements, you will find information about events. You will find information about changes perhaps to the class, to the weekly schedule. Sometimes we have guest speakers. Sometimes we have companies or agencies that are coming in and recruiting. Other times I may be called away or have an event out of town, and my ability to stay online and communicate might be limited, so I will give you that information. Sometimes an event takes place and I might be late posting grades, so I will let you know all that information through the announcements. I don't often rely on the learning management system email system. I found it to be spotty. Sometimes I don't receive the emails, but I will make sure that when I create announcements to indicate also that an email be sent to your account, and hopefully we'll be fortunate and everything will go through and there won't be any issues. In terms of assessments, these are going to be your weekly quizzes. Those are based on the book content. You have a set amount of time which will be listed on the website. Open book, and so it's really just about you keeping up with the content of the chapter, and so make sure you complete that. There are deadlines. The deadlines are not flexible. For the quizzes, it's Fridays at 10 p.m. So for week 1, and this will be listed as well on the website, all these deadlines, and in the calendar. Make sure that you complete everything by 10 p.m. on Friday in terms of the quizzes. The link for assignment, that will be your project. There will be more information later into the semester. You'll have about 4 to 5 weeks to complete the project, and all the details will become available under the assessment menu option. I'm sorry, the assignments menu option. The discussions, those are going to be our weekly labs, though sometimes they will also include some non-technical aspects, especially early on in the weeks. So the first few weeks, there are some specific legal cases I'm going to ask you to look at, which really set the groundwork for digital forensics and investigations, and kind of give us a sense of how law enforcement has to operate within the United States when it comes to these types of cases that include digital information. So things like chain of custody, warrants, those type of topics, how they come about and how are they relevant in investigation. So we'll learn a little bit about that. So it's not as technical as some of the other things that we'll do later on. In terms of learning modules, this is where you can find copies of the chapters from the book. I think I have the first 3 chapters, and this is if there are delays in you getting the book for the class. I have the first 3 chapters so you don't fall behind. There are notes about the chapters, there are videos, different type of context is found there. My grades and the web links are self-explanatory. My grades, you can find out how you're progressing in the class as soon as I post the grades, and web links are other type of resources that are available. Now, a few highlights regarding the syllabus. We've already talked about my info and what's the best way to communicate. Always, and I'll repeat it again, always try to get a hold of me via email. That's definitely the best channel. In terms of grading, I will try to have grades posted for the discussions usually no later than the Tuesday after the discussion have closed. One of the important things that I want to discuss right now is we're really on a weekly schedule. So things start the night between Friday and Saturday usually, and they will close the following Friday. So let's say we're in the middle of semester, we're in week 6. I will post the information or make it available first thing Saturday morning, so in the middle of the night, and you will have the quiz that will be open, and then you will have the discussion that will be open. The quiz will close the following Friday at 10 p.m. The discussion / lab, because it will vary during the semester will close at 5 p.m. on Friday. So make sure that you understand the schedule that we're working on, how you're being assessed, how we're being graded. Also, one quick thing that I want to mention for you to pay attention when it comes to the weekly discussions and labs. We really tend to have two deadlines most of the time. There's an initial set of instructions that is given in the discussion, as I said, early Saturday morning, and you have the weekend and through Tuesday at noon to work to that first set of instruction. And I will repeat all that information in written format on the website, but it's worth mentioning right now. So that's really the first part of the week when it comes to the discussion. And then there tends to be a second set of instruction, or a follow-up if you want, posted sometime on Tuesday. It tends to be after lunch, so early afternoon on Tuesday. Those tasks, those assignments are due Friday by 5 p.m. So the discussion as a whole closes Fridays on 5 p.m. But the first set of assignments needs to be completed by noon on Tuesday. If you don't, you will not get credit, you will not get points for that first part of the class. If you get them done and you get the follow-up done, completed, then you get all the points that are available for the discussion. There will be some weeks, generally towards the end of the semester, where there will not be a Tuesday deadline, but there will just be a set of instructions. You guys get them completed by the 5 p.m. Friday. The quizzes, on the other hand, always close Fridays at 10 p.m. Please don't ask me, what can I do because I missed this, I missed that, I didn't complete this. As I'm mentioning right now, that's one part of the class that is really not flexible. We are on a weekly schedule. Once we're done with the topic, once we're done with a discussion, lab, or quiz, we move on. We don't come back to revisit. So just wanted to spend a moment and explain that. Course material, that's I would say the majority of the work you will find online in the course website. Though we do use the book, there are exercises in the book, but I think the majority is on the website. I just mentioned the weekly assignments and the importance. The grading as well, you complete everything, you get all the points available. The quizzes are based on, obviously, on correct and wrong answers, so you get points there. And also take a moment to just read the course expectations and grammar rules. Just focus on that a little bit and make sure that you have a good understanding of what we'll be doing in class. The bad 3. This is something that over the years has made sort of an impression on me. Some of the things that I noticed that can really prevent students from doing as well as they could. You really don't want to fall behind, and I mentioned that because of the issue we have with the weekly schedule. So if you miss a week, it can be an issue. A lot of the work happens to be cumulative, so sometimes it's predicated on something we did 1 or 2 weeks before. So if you've fallen behind and you're trying to play catch up, or you've skipped a whole week, that can be problematic. I also understand that things happen, so whether it's work or family, there might be some issue. What's important is, at least with me, you try to tackle whatever concern you might have right away. If you tell me there are difficulties at work, there are deadlines, I am going out of town for a conference, we can work, sort of rearrange the schedule and make some assignments available at different times. So generally, we can do something early, or if there's some sickness, some other things, let me know right away, because then we'll have a little bit of flexibility. We can rearrange schedule. If you contact me a few weeks after the event, there's really little I can do. My hands are going to be tied and I cannot make any changes. So as soon as something happens and it does have some importance, or it's critical to your ability to successfully complete the course or the assignments, you gotta let me know right away. So take a moment and send that email. And of course, the last one is not spending enough time. I think a lot of what you'll be asked to do is read instructions and read them carefully. More often than not, when the students cannot complete an assignment or does not complete an assignment correctly, it seems that the common factor is not having read the instructions carefully enough, or maybe gone to them too fast and missed some key pieces of information, whether it's the weekly assignments or perhaps in the project. So take your time and really be careful in that area. A little bit about the RCFL. Since it's my hope that we'll be able to take the class and have you visit. This is a collaboration between the Federal Bureau of Investigations and local law enforcement agency, and also the University of New Mexico. It's located on South Campus across from Isotope Park, and they process all sorts of digital evidence for different cases, from national security to local crimes to drug trafficking, you name it, anything that has a digital component. And these days just about everything has a digital component, whether it be a computer or phone or some type of storage media, will be processed at that location. So a lot of what we learn in this class, you will see sort of on a day-to-day basis, how is it handled. It's a great experience. You will have the opportunity to interact with FBI agents and employees and ask questions about how to handle the whole process, what type of information do they have to deal with. My favorite one is really hearing about their court cases. And so there's really some fascinating story about how some of the evidence would be supporting different investigations in cases that you might be familiar with here in New Mexico or in the nation. So some really, I think, valuable time that we can spend there. So I will schedule that, and all the information will be posted on our website, so there'll probably be an announcement of when we try to go visit. Also, for those of you that might be interested in a career, there are opportunities with the honors internship. The applications tend to be received generally around August, September, but I will post more information when I receive it. The virtual lab is something that we will be using in class. This is where we have virtual machines to complete our exercises. You have the link posted right there. That link also will be made available in the course website. One thing that you want to make sure, as always, to list your domain as colleges.ad.unm.edu. You have a screenshot of what that looks like, and then you will be using your UNM NetID to log in, and there will be a separate video or tutorial to walk you through how to use or how to log into the virtual lab and use the different systems. And this is used for you to complete your weekly assignments. Some useful resource. The first one is our student organization, NEST. Great group of young people. They do a lot of work here at UNM. They're involved with demoing new technologies, things related to security. Often they bring in guest speakers, recruiters. So if you're not part of NEST, I would strongly encourage you to join the group. You have a few other resources that I list. Mobile forensics will give you a database of how to look up different types of devices. There is a good computer forensic tool testing program. Kind of gives you an idea of what it takes to be certified as a forensics tool, the sort of the rigor that you have to go through it. And of course, the US Cyber Challenge. This is a good competition that is posted regularly throughout the year. You can participate and just have a little bit of fun, sort of decrypting all these different scenarios and investigations. So it can be a lot of fun to work through. We also have, if you're not familiar, a whole house across the street from GSM and the MCM building. The importance is you can often find me there working with students or just working. There are 8 to 10 systems available for students in the IA program or in the MS program. So you can come, make yourself at home if you want a place sort of to get away a little bit quieter and just work on assignments. Our hours tend to be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 4:30 p.m. There's generally some staff in there who might be able to meet you there. And also my GA's office will be in that area, and I will have them post their hours on the course website. So, quick review, about the 20-minute mark, and that's about all the time I wanted to take. Make sure you complete all the assignments, so surveys, posting, watching videos, look at the VLab, get familiar with the website, those type of things. Please do take the time to carefully read the syllabus. All that is really important about this course will be found in there. Also, there's a calendar document, so download it, have it available. It's generally in the format of a PDF, so you know when everything is due. Have a good sense of what week we're going to work on, which topic, and so forth. Also remember the deadlines. So as a reminder, weekly discussions generally posted early Saturday morning. First part due at noon on Tuesday. Second part due Friday at 5 p.m. Those are the weekly discussions / weekly labs. The quizzes always due at 10 p.m. on Friday, and they're also available first thing Saturday morning. Remember to communicate if there are any issues, and also there will be a configuration for you to work on and get started with the VLab. That does it. Again, didn't want to take too much time to get you going. Please read all those documents. And of course, if you have any questions, go ahead and send me an email. And once again, welcome to Digital Forensics.